A lot of people tonight saw this happen, heard the impact of the crash, and saw the planes. Truly have been eating dust for the past few minutes, and it's coming right in this direction. Greg Stanton says this was a grassroots campaign, and tonight all the volunteers and supporters who helped him win this race are continuing to celebrate. The box was less than 32 inches long, but Amy was more than 4 feet tall. We are hearing he is in very serious condition. As you can see, the mobile command unit just pulled up here in the last minute or so. These charred branches are basically what's left of a lot of the trees here in the forest. We're about a mile from the fire line right now, but the good news is there has been a little bit of containment, 10%. He said this morning he actually took the Congresswoman outside, brought her into the sunshine to get one last look at the Arizona views. Now that Governor Brewer has announced Arizona's primary will be held February 28th, relatively early, you can be sure we'll see the other candidates making their way here as well. And now the car, your shiny black Escalade, to the car wash tomorrow?
Oh, I don't know. This is kind of like a souvenir. Maybe I'll keep it for like this for the next couple of days.
Right. Dust Storm 2011, as our Royal Norman called it. The other gators are headed down to Florida, where an alligator enthusiast will be adopting them. In fact, he's even paying for their flights. They're planning to stay here overnight, then resume demonstrations again tomorrow morning. A good night for supporters of Yes on 100 and a good night for Governor Brewer. How are you feeling right now? The inmates who actually work on these crafts for a profit are 40% less likely to go back to jail. This is where people used to smoke. Now they say they have to walk to the edge of the property, cross 4 lanes of traffic, and wind up on the other side of the street before they light up. After all that snow and days of road closure, finally all 4 lifts operational here. Bounties up to $250,000 for the first paparazzi shot, if someone could get it. Everyone is certainly hoping for the best, particularly the people who have had to leave their homes.
All right, Stacey Delikat, thanks for that look from...
Sat down with doctors Rhee and Lamole today as they get ready to send Gabrielle Giffords off to the next phase of her recovery and, in essence, close a chapter here at University Medical Center. It's a chapter that will no doubt go down in history and one that both doctors say they won't forget.
Hi, my name is Peter Rhee. I'm the trauma director here at the University of Arizona.
At this phase in the game, no change is good.
Not taking any steps backwards. There have been no complications.
For nearly 2 weeks, they've been the faces of the recovery from a tragedy that stunned the nation.
It has been a little chaotic.
That's UMC trauma director Dr. Peter Rhee, a decorated military surgeon who, as the note on his office door says, has an irrepressible energy level. His counterpart in all this, Harvard-educated chief neurologist Dr. Michael Lamole.
I think we've done some good here.
Both doctors were off on Saturday, January 8th, when they got the calls about mass casualties, multiple people down, including a congresswoman. Rhee was on a jog. Lamole was at a golf lesson with his son. Both dropped everything and rushed to the trauma unit at University Medical Center.
We knew we had our work cut out for us.
On the way, they heard rumors Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords had died, but quickly got the story straight and got to work. You said, okay, if she's alive, I can keep her alive.
I just knew that we were going to be okay. There was just no, I didn't have the tiniest bit of hesitation in her situation.
Since then, both doctors have been going non-stop, not only doing their jobs, operating on Giffords and the other victims and overseeing their care, but accommodating the 24-hour news beast.
As far as the media thing, that's new. But again, I can't let that get to me personally.
Do you feel like you'll have a higher profile after this?
Probably for a little while. I'll just wear sunglasses.
As the hospital's role in this stage of recovery draws to a close, with plans to transfer Gabby Giffords tomorrow, both doctors say they're ready to get out of the spotlight.
How does this compare to some of the craziness I've done and seen in the past? It's definitely memorable.
But you're not going to be upset when everyone goes away.
No, not at all.
There may be a little lull in my life, and then give me a time to reflect back on what's happened the last 12 days.
Well, of course, before that lull, there is still tomorrow when Congressman Giffords leaves the hospital.
How can I help you?
I want to get my license.
The wait at the MVD is never a quick one.
And you're going to wait for this one.
Right, thank you.
But if, like Oscar Vasquez, you've been waiting 8 years since you turned 16 just for the chance to take a driving test,
Nervous.
getting to the window and handing over your papers is a big deal.
All those doors that I couldn't open before, they're open now. Just for instance, just going there to the MVD, trying to take that test, I couldn't even do that before.
Vasquez was 12 when he and his mother crossed over to Arizona illegally. He enrolled at Carl Hayden High School and went on to be a member of the school's nationally recognized robotics team. With the help of generous donors and a lot of motivation, he went on to ASU.
He is known as a leader, the motivator of his team.
That's Vasquez on graduation day in 2009, where he was awarded a degree in engineering and recognized in front of the entire school and commencement speaker, President Barack Obama.
Congratulations, Oscar.
By then, Vasquez had been married 5 years and had a 1-year-old daughter, Samantha. But because he was undocumented, he knew he wouldn't be able to go on to the future he wanted. So he and his wife, Carla, decided he would self-deport.
We want to do everything the right way.
I wanted to apply my degree to something. I didn't want to just stay here and not be able to work, not be able to do anything.
Vasquez spent 361 days biding his time on the other side of the border in the little town of Magdalena. His family waited in Phoenix.
I think a week before I left is when she first started walking. So it was really, really hard for me just to leave her behind, you know, to go down there to a place I actually didn't know anymore.
In Mexico, Vasquez applied for a visa and found work as a mechanic. With a little help from a United States senator, finally, last Thursday, he got the okay. He could come home, a freshly printed visa in hand.
I never thought this day was going to come. It seemed like so far away. But then this last few weeks was, you know, so short, and now I'm here.
Amy Deal, this was literally a house of horrors where police say she experienced unimaginable abuse after abuse. The little girl would have turned 11 just last weekend, but by police accounts, she didn't even have a chance.
Inside this South Phoenix house, a 10-year-old girl forced into a tiny trunk, locked in and left to die.
I don't think that a crime can be more unspeakable.
The family members who were supposed to be taking care of Amy Deal initially told police it was a game of hide and seek that turned tragic when Amy fell asleep in a toy chest during the game. That's what her aunt Cynthia Stoltzman told 3TV the day after.
She could find the strangest places to hide.
But Amy wasn't hiding. Her cousin's husband, John Allen, has now admitted that on July 12th, he got angry when the girl took a popsicle out of the freezer. So he forced Amy to stand in a back bend for 2 hours, then made her get into the trunk. The box was less than 32 inches long, but Amy was more than 4 feet tall. And when police found her, they say she was covered in bruises, wearing filthy clothing.
She was severely abused by her mother. You knew that there was damage.
Stoltzman was Amy's legal guardian, but what she didn't tell us was that she and Amy's grandmother and cousins were also abusing the girl. Court papers say Stoltzman was seen earlier this year sitting on the trunk playing computer games while Amy was inside screaming for help, and the discipline got worse.
She had dog fecal matter rubbed on her when she wouldn't pick it up in the backyard and forced to eat it.
I knew something was fishy.
Today, neighbors told us they had suspected abuse at the house after hearing Allen constantly screaming at the little girl.
He was saying nothing about bad words and stuff like that to her. You know, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna kick you, you know, all that stuff like that.
Just to a 10-year-old girl?
Yeah.
No one took any action after seeing some suspicious things. In fact, CPS says they never had any contact with this family until little Amy died. There were other children living at this home, and tonight a dozen children who had some sort of a link to the adults inside are all in the care of CPS. Live in Phoenix, Stacey Delikat, 3TV.